What is up, people? It is your boy, as always, What's Up Riv, coming at you with episode 12 of the Right From the River podcast. And just like every episode of the podcast before it, this is a very special episode. You know why? Because this is the first episode of 2022. That's right. Surprise, I fell through on the plans of releasing one or two more podcasts for the end of last year. But hey, that's neither apples nor oranges. That's neither here nor there. We're in the now, and I'm coming at you with a new episode. It's good to see y'all. Well, it's good to hear y'all. Well, I mean, thanks for tuning into the podcast and hearing me, is what I'm trying to say. Glad y'all came in for the new year. I hope the year's been good to you. I can't believe it's already the 25th. Like, that just blows my fucking mind. Like, we're already done with January, pretty much. But yeah, today's episode, not going to get too crazy. I feel like the past couple episodes, we've been just chilling a bit. We've been vibing. We've been macking. We've been killing it. Since it's been a minute, I figured we could just do an update today. Let's see where we're at with the new year. Let's see what's been goings-ons since the last time we checked in with each other, you know? But as always, let's start the podcast off right with the beginning of the bit bong rip. That's right. Let me grab that bong real quick. I do have some unfortunate news. Speaking of weed, over the past, or a couple weeks ago, we did lose a good piece. That's right. My water pipe, my bong, ended up breaking through very unfortunate circumstances. So make sure that y'all take a hit for the bong that's no longer with us. Rest in peace, little water bong. It's okay. We got it on sale. It was single layered glass. What do you expect? You know, it's part of what happens with owning glass. You got to expect it to break sometimes, which is unfortunate. It still sucks, but it's bound to happen. Accidents happen. But nonetheless, we got a replacement piece for the time being that should work for us. It's kind of cool. It's a cool piece. It's called the Budsy. It's the Puffco Budsy. And if you check on their website, actually you can't check their website right now because their shop is down. But if you check any third-party reseller that has the Budsy, it's pretty cool. It's like a incognito looking piece. It looks like a typical like plastic water bottle. Like, what's that brand? It looks like the Nalgene water bottles, Nalgene, however it's pronounced. But you flip the little like spout open, and that's like the mouthpiece. And then there's like a little ceramic bowl in there that's like just super hidden and sleek. And then, yeah, load your weed, smoke it like a bong. And then you get on with your incognito travels because, you know, it looks like a water bottle. It's sneaky. Folks aren't going to know what it is, but still, you know, partake responsibly if you buy one. Oh yeah, an unfortunate thing though with the fucking Budsy is, you know, it comes with its own bowl piece, which is cool, but the bowl piece is all ceramic, and the ceramic bowl piece is damaged. It's still functionable, like it still works, like don't get me wrong, I could still use it just fine to smoke out of, but there's a big chunk missing out of the side of it, and it just, I don't like it. I don't like looking at the piece. I hate it, frankly, because I just got the Budsy a couple of months ago. I barely used it, and as soon as I start using it, the bowl cracks. And surprise, surprise, Puffco doesn't sell the bowl replacements for it. So if anybody from fucking Puffco ends up listening to the podcast, just hear my complaint about that. Could y'all start selling, whenever you guys open up your shop again, start selling products whenever all this UPS shit, whatever is going on, settles down and you guys open your shop up again? Could you sell replacement ceramic bowls for the Budsy, please? Like, it's garbage because I just chipped the bowl. It's all ceramic, you know, so it's bound to break if you fucking drop it. But I'm not trying to drop another like $50 on an entire Budsy just because the bowl just because the bowl broke. So yeah, if you listen to fucking, or if you're listening, Puffco employees or whatever, sell ceramic bowls that are replaceable. So yeah, we're already rambling. We haven't even hit the bowl yet. So let's get into the bong rip of the day. Let's get back to what I was saying before the rambling started. We got our fancy Puffco Budsy loaded with it's a kind of a small bowl, but it's okay. We're not trying to get too crazy. I've been smoking throughout the day, so I'm already like, I'm not trying to lose too much train of thought while I'm on the podcast, you know. So got a smaller bowl. Let's see. And today's flower of the day is it's Boba Fett. I think it's like Bubba Kush and like a Skywalker cross or some shit like that. It's a pretty good one. I can't really taste it that well still, I'll be honest. Your boy got the vid a couple weeks ago, and I'm still reeling in from that. Like, I can smell and taste like a lot better than I could when I had COVID, but still not enough to really appreciate weed. Nonetheless, let's not think about that. I can still kind of taste it. It's a Bubba Kush. It's got that cushy kind of like gassy little like at the end of it. The Skywalker cross in it comes across like very earthy, nice little green flavor to it. And some people get weirded out when I say green, because a lot of people think like grass, like they think like grass trimmings when they think green flavor. But no, it adds a little bit of just like nature-esque plant flavor, but it's not bad. It's not overbearing in my opinion. Anyway, here, let me just set up the marker because your boy's getting good at production. And click, boom. Let's take this hit, you guys. Cheers. Beginning of the bit bong grip with the Boba Fett. Let's do it. Nice. Good little bowl. See, that is the one thing I do like about the Budsy. So the Budsy is like, it's like a silicone downstem. So it's like durable, which makes sense because it's supposed to be like a kind of a travel piece. Here, let me just finish clearing it real quick. I thought I did, but the Budsy has like a silicone downstem, ceramic bowl piece. So that part's like durable, easy to clean. You're not smoking directly out of metal or some shit, which is nice. But the silicone perk on it is really fucking smooth. I'll be honest. It is a super smooth hit off of it. That's why I definitely say consume responsibly with it, because there's been a couple of times where I've been, let's say, like on a hike, or maybe it's before I run some errands or something like that. I smoke a quick bowl off of it, and because the bowl hits so smooth and like doesn't choke me out, then I'm just like, I don't feel like I actually got a good hit. So I end up like snapping the whole bowl. And as soon as I start getting the blood flowing, I get up, start walking around. It's kind of like, oh shit, that was a pretty good bowl. That was a pretty good hit. So yeah, like I like it. I like the Budsy. I've been smoking it a lot at home lately because I don't have like a glass, like a designated like at home glass rig. But so I'll be honest, like if I had glass, it wouldn't be my first choice. But it's still nice. It is definitely very adequate. It's a smooth ass hit. It's a pretty like good size like chamber. It kind of reminds me of like the glass lung, where it's literally just like a downstem and a mason jar type shit. But it's a super big like container, so you can get some nice fat rips off of it. The perk is very nice, so those fat hits are very smooth. And yeah, man, it's good because you can take a hit, very smooth, no coughing your lungs out, and then you can just get back to whatever activities you were doing because it's supposed to be like an out and about kind of piece. Anyway, enough about this fucking Budsy. Let's get on with the podcast. It's almost 10 minutes in. Holy shit, and we're still talking about weed. I think that's pretty good though. That's pretty much like what my job is to talk about weed for 10 hours a day. So I guess it's kind of fitting that I'm able to talk about weed for at least 10 fucking minutes. But yeah, episode 12, first episode of 2022. What have you guys been up to? What have you been doing? You been sticking with the gym workout resolution? I hope so. Not because of physical stuff, but because of like making you feel better. And it's good to build like positive habits and be like disciplined in like beneficial areas. But yeah, let me talk a little bit. I mentioned earlier before we took a hit that your boy did in fact catch the vid. I got COVID. Pretty sure it was the Omicron variant beginning of the year. Shit sucked because it ran through my shop too. It was hitting everybody, man. Like we had family out in Kentucky that was testing positive for shit. Got family down in Springs testing positive for shit. I'm up in Denver testing positive. It fucking sucked. Like I don't care where you stand on this. I don't want to fucking start a discussion about it. But I got my vaccine. And so I feel like the virus didn't hit me nearly as hard as it could have. But I only got the single vaccine. I got the Johnson & Johnson, and it was definitely well over 3 months ago. So when I got the Omicron variant, that shit, dude, it made me feel like my head was in a vice grip. Like I felt like my head was like a pressurized tank that was ready to pop. It was just ridiculous. And I just felt uncomfortable there. I just wanted to sleep. I was fucking tired. And I thought it was a head cold, if I'm being honest. I thought I just got like a seasonal cold. And it wasn't until I lost my sense of taste and smell that I was kind of like, oh, fuck. Like, this isn't just a cold. I can't just make this go away with some emergency. And like I said, the last part's not really true because I did take some emergency. Brianna and I quarantined, and we did that. We quarantined, had some fucking vitamins and shit. We took it easy. Bada boom, bada bing, here we fucking are. Still feeling kind of like slow, but I don't know if that's because I'm still recovering from COVID or if it's the fact that capitalism has us all just slowly marching towards our grave, just chugging along like a bunch of fucking workhorses. And I'm sorry to rant about that, but it's fucking true, man. Sometimes your boy, I feel like a workhorse. I feel like I work hard. I feel like I bust my ass. I do what I need to do. But if I was injured or if there was something that was holding me back from my job, I feel like they would just, hopefully metaphorically, they would just shoot me and get a new workhorse. Where it's like, it doesn't matter how much work you put in. It's great. It's appreciated in that moment. But they're still going to, like, if push comes to shove, then you're still dispensable. So, yeah, what I'm trying to say with that is I don't know if I'm fucking tired because I'm still trying to fight off the trace hints of COVID in my system, or if it's because capitalism has us working all the fucking motherfucking time. That's right. I just swore 2 times in a row. So watch out, dude. But honestly, sometimes I just feel tired because COVID's been going through my work and stuff like that. So not so much in the past week, luckily, but a couple weeks ago I was having to cover for some short staff situations, which whatever, man. I'm an assistant manager, so that's the shit I sign up for. I'm not really complaining about that. It's just you get tired. It's like just being at work all the fucking time and you start losing track of what day it is and stuff like that. Like, honestly, I still feel like every week is just a one long single week to me. It's just all blurring together at this point. But that's also kind of why I'm glad I decided to like take some time today to do the podcast because I've just been having a lot of shit going on. I haven't even been working out either. I worked out today for the first time in the new year. And it's because before that, like Christmas and shit, I was just tired. I was like, look, I'm not going to spread myself thin during the holiday season. And then we had all that shit going on at work where I was covering for people who had COVID or other just reasons to be out of the shop. And then I caught COVID, so I was out for like a week. So it's just been consistently one thing after another. But that's just life, man. I hate to say it like that because I'm not trying to write it off. Shit does suck. Shit gets irritating. But I'm grateful that at the very least, that I could sit here and record a podcast because there have been a couple people asking me about it, why I haven't been doing one lately. So it's nice to hop on the mic again and just rant, just ramble. Sometimes when I do the podcast, also here, before I get into that, just the people that were asking me if I'm doing it, shout out to Cody and Chris, because they're literally like the only people that I know that listen to the podcast. I think Reese might listen to the podcast too. But anyway, shout out to anybody that listens to the podcast, even if you're a person I named or not. I appreciate people listening to this because that kind of leads into what I was going to say next. Sometimes when I'm doing the podcast, I feel like I'm just like on a desert island or something like that, or I'm in like a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and by doing these podcasts, I'm hoping that in some sense they can like float out into the nether or into the void, and somebody by chance can happen to catch them, maybe feel a little bit of comfort just hearing somebody ramble, just having someone in background noise, or just like having something to laugh at, like what the fuck is this dude even talking about, or maybe I do say something that's a good zinger. I can be funny sometimes, intentionally. Very, very few times I can be funny intentionally. But yeah, sometimes I just kind of record the podcast knowing that it might not reach a lot of ears, but I'm still going to just try. And it makes me feel like maybe even if it does catch just like a couple of people, give them something to listen to for the next 20 to 30 minutes. Hey man, that's still a win. That's dope as hell to me. Talking about updates. Sorry, I got a kitty cat right next to me too. Got Max. That's right. He is one of the shadow co-hosts of mine. Him and Raj, which you guys don't know, is they're on every podcast, but they're cats. You know, they don't have much to say on the mic, so they just chill. They hang out. But whenever we decide to get like video or something like that for the podcast, then you'll be able to see them. They're pretty dope. I probably do have some pictures floating around on the interwebs of my cats, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what my cats are doing. They're just vibing. Trying to think about what other updates. Fuck. What have I been doing? I thought I would have like a bunch of shit to update on, but I really didn't. I haven't been doing a lot lately. I never do a lot. What the fuck? But I mean, I guess like on the quarantine specifically, caught up on a shit ton of movies, watched a bunch of TV shows, watched that new Peacemaker show. I've been watching that for the past couple weeks. Same with the Book of Boba Fett. Out of those two shows, if I'm being honest, I really like Peacekeeper? Peacemaker. I think it's Peacekeeper. Good. See, I'm trying to say that I like that show, but I don't even remember the name. The one with John Cena. I'm pretty sure it's Peacekeeper. That's a funny ass show, though. I'm really enjoying that one. It's directed by James Gunn. He was the director of like Guardians of the Galaxy and the most recent Suicide Squad movie. So that makes sense because this show is supposed to be a tie-in with the most recent Suicide Squad movie. But it's pretty funny. It's nice to see something DC Comics related that doesn't take itself so fucking seriously. Because I feel like that's been like a major issue with DC Comics for quite some time now, is like it works well for Batman to some degree. But when you take every single fucking title so seriously and so gloomy and dark, it gets boring after a while, man. It's the same fucking formula. And plus, these are stories about superheroes. I kind of like it, in my own opinion, when superhero related stuff is a little cheesy, because the source material is literally like about grown people running around in brightly colored tights with superpowers. Like, if you take yourself too seriously in that kind of context, it becomes across as like cringy, I feel. Because it's like, I don't know, if there's like at least a little sense of awareness of like, yeah, this is like kind of silly, like grown people running around in bright colored costumes, you know, and then it adds a little campiness adds a little meta to it, where it's like, yeah, they're aware that comic books are supposed to be a little fun. And that's what I'm getting at with the new Peacekeeper show. I like it. With the Book of Boba Fett, it's a good show. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I feel like they're relying a lot on like nostalgia with it. And I feel like this entire show has pretty much just been like an explanation to show what got him to where he was in The Mandalorian. Because I know in like the Book of Boba, they do have Boba Fett going on like a new journey that takes place after the events of The Mandalorian. But I mean, there's so many damn flashbacks in it. It feels like they're setting it up like, this explains how he got here. Don't worry about what he's doing from that point on from The Mandalorian, but this is how he got to that point in The Mandalorian. You know, like, I don't know. Like, just because, for instance, that Boba Fett is real good at making your throat dry, especially when you've been talking for 20 fucking minutes straight. Here, one sec. No water in the water bottle. Beautiful. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. I forgot what I was saying. Where was I going with that? That's right. So, I wanted to talk about episode 2, Book of Boba. There's this whole setup where he's found by this Tusken Raider village. He spends all this time, effort, energy to become one with the village. And then, like, spoiler alert, spoiler, before I get any farther, if you haven't watched any of the Book of Boba, you've been warned. But after spending this entire episode training up with them, they're all just massacred. Like, nothing. And it's just kind of like, well, fuck. So, like, that's it. Like, Boba Fett tries to do something good, tries to be a part of something bigger, and that's all just disappeared. It's just, I don't know. It's a good show. It's not bad. I like it because it's in the Star Wars universe. It's a Jon Favreau and Robert Rodriguez production. So they're both huge fucking Star Wars nerds. So you can tell there's a lot of like appreciation in it still. There's like, I like the Easter eggs to stuff like the Star Wars Galaxies MMO. I used to play that heavily when I was a kid, so it's cool to see little things like, you know, certain creatures or vehicles or like, destinations and even like professions like being added into the Star Wars world. It's super cool. Just because, for instance, with that in the newest episode, Boba Fett takes Fennec Shaw. What was it? Fennec Shand. He takes her to this cybernetic implant surgeon, and I don't remember what class that was specifically in Star Wars Galaxies, but it was possible to get like cybernetics in the game too. So it's like, it's kind of cool because I remember literally taking my character to Mos Espa to get cybernetic arms and shit like that implanted on them, and that's literally what happens in the episode with Fennec Shand. So it was just dope. I was like, it's kind of neat, it's a little throwback to when I was a kid when I used to play this video game. Fucking loved it. But like I said, I do still feel like the show relies heavily on nostalgia. Not necessarily a bad thing, but are we building on the story, or are we just giving people more of the same stuff that we've already seen? That is the big question there. Oh, man. I'm like running out of steam. I'm like, it's been a minute since I've done a podcast. Look, I only got to 22 minutes. I'm like, is this a fucking cable daytime TV show? We only get into 22 minutes? What is this? That's not even with commercials? Not even getting to 30 minutes? Either way, I think instead of just rambling on about nothing for the time being, just figured I'd give you guys a quick update. Got the vid, but we got over that shit. Brianna and I. My smell and taste, slowly but surely, is coming back. The funny thing about that is, like, well, it's not really funny. It kind of fucking sucked losing 2 of my 5 senses. But, like, I didn't lose my taste completely. I did lose my smell completely. Like, I could not smell anything for a couple days. But my taste was just, like, dulled. I couldn't taste complex flavors. Like, I could, like, let's say I ate, like, a donut or something, and my brain would just go, sweet. Like, it wouldn't break it down and be like, this is a donut, this is chocolate flavor, this is, like, sprinkles, and da-da-da-da-da. It would just be like, sweet flavor. And same thing if I would eat something salty. I'd eat, like, some crackers or something, my brain would just go, salt. It wouldn't break down what the actual flavors were or anything like that. It was just, it sucked, man. I was eating a sandwich, and my brain would go, substance. Like, it wouldn't even, like, break down the flavors or anything. It would just be like, oh, yeah, like, this is definitely something to eat. So that sucked. That kind of blew. I lost a little bit of weight because of it, which wasn't bad because I had a little bit of bloating in my tum, so helped get rid of that. But I also got to watch that too, just because I was having, if I'm being honest, a little bit before the COVID stuff hit, I was having a little bit of gallbladder issues. Yeah, I ate like shit. I just ate like shit. It was the holiday season. Really haven't cared. Like, I've never been good with my diet, and because I was working out consistently, I thought, fuck it, I can eat whatever I want. But life and my body reminded me really quickly that, nah, dog, you're approaching 30. Like, you got to start being more conscious about what you're putting into your body because it could affect you negatively in the long run. So I haven't gone to the doctor for it yet. I really need to, just to, like, play it safe. This isn't shit that you want to just, like, delay. But I've been feeling better. Like, it was just like I had a flare up the day after Christmas, and to, like, basically describe it is like, all right, so Brianna and I got this food, Fat Shack. It really sucks, man, because I fucking love Fat Shack. It's so bad for you. It's so unhealthy, but I fucking love it, and I'm gonna miss eating there because I don't think I can ever get them again. But it started as a food truck up in Fort Collins. It was like a college foods thing for all the students up there. It's just essentially a bunch of fried foods thrown onto sandwich bread in different combinations. Like, for instance, the one I got usually is called the Fat Doobie. It's like mozzarella sticks, French fries, chicken, onion rings, and all this stuff. And I think it's like honey mustard. Here, one sec. Sorry. My stuff's falling. Get away from there. Get away, I swear, these cats, man. Eating each other's food and stuff like that. But Fat Shack is just a bunch of fried foods just put on a sandwich bread in different combinations. But I ate like half of my sandwich. I ate a little bit of the other half, and I just felt super, super full. I thought maybe it was just that. I ate too fast, drank a bunch of water. And so I was sitting there trying to, like, help myself feel better, and it just got worse. It got worse and worse and worse. And it went from an uncomfortable fullness. It literally shifted over to the right side and turned into just like this painful, like, just like, it's not even cramping. It's just this painful, aching, just hurting feeling in my fucking gallbladder. Like, it literally felt like somebody had a hold of my entire gallbladder and they were just like squeezing it. And that shit fucking sucked. It only lasted for, I say only, it lasted for like 45, 50 minutes. And I felt like shit the entire time. Like, I was like, ugh, it hurt, man. It hurt. I was definitely uncomfortable. Every time I would try to stand up, it would just make it worse. And that was the problem. Like, when it first started kicking in, it didn't feel like gallbladder pain. It just felt like a stiffness in like my muscles. So I was trying to stretch it out, and by like stretching it and like twisting my back and stuff, it just exacerbated the pain, made it worse. So yeah, like I said, very grateful. Nothing serious came of that situation. I feel really bad for Brianna because they were freaked the fuck out because of it, which is understandable. You know, I'm like literally like laying in bed like, oh my God, like my organs feel like they're just twisting. You know, it's not, nobody wants to see their partner go through that. And so I'm very sorry, Brianna, that I stressed you the fuck out with that. But since that happened, been trying to be a lot more conscious about the foods I'm putting in my body. I'm trying to avoid high fatty contents, especially until I can get myself into the doctor. Just here, knock on wood. Just because, yeah, man, that stuff's not fun. It's not fun. Doctor shit. Having to deal with fucking organ stuff. What is it called? Vestigial organs? I don't know if the gallbladder is vestigial, but I know it is possible. It's not. It's a non-vital organ at the very least. But either way, man, shit sucks. I got my car in though, so that's neat. Like, I don't know. Gotta take myself in for my fucking dental and to get my gallbladder looked at and shit, but hey, at least my car runs fine now. I still gotta get fucking tags for it, that's another garbage thing right there, dog. Like, I got a ticket because I have expired tags, but the ticket price is the same as paying for the expired tags. I'm just like, y'all, you were too fucking much. They're like, oh, so you can't afford to pay for tags right now? Well, we're just gonna double that fee for you. Now you'll definitely have enough to pay for it. Like, silly shit, man. Silly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what's been going on. A little bit of health stuff, a little bit of work stuff, a little bit of COVID stuff. But we're all standing strong still. My kitty boys are doing good. Brianna's doing good. I'm doing good. We're fucking tired. You know, sometimes life makes you feel a little gray every now and then. But hey, man, that's why we can talk. That's why we're here to talk, you know? And same with y'all. I know sometimes life might make you feel a little gray. Might try to bring us down. Sometimes there are things in life that want to take as much of the happiness that it can. Just because it wants it. Just out of like pure gluttony and like greed. But we can't let those things in life, those forces in life, take that goodness from us. That doesn't mean to hide it either. I'm not saying to repress the goodness. I'm just saying we just got to be conscious, you know? But we can't let that shit die. We can't let the positivity disappear just because of how much negativity is in the world. And so, yeah, if you ever feel, I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm just saying, I fucking love y'all. And we're here to talk about some shit, the good, the and sometimes the not good. But the fact that we can talk about it and we're trying to move through it by talking about it, that's what's important. That's where I'm trying to get with that. Yeah, is there's a lot of shit out there in this world that's going to try to make you feel like garbage, but we can't let that be an excuse to actually make others feel like garbage too. We got to be positive, especially when we got stuff going around that's like affecting people's like physical health and things. We got to do what we can to keep people's mental health on the up and up. But yeah, not really anywhere to lead off of that. But I think I'm going to call the podcast for the day. I just wanted to give y'all an update. I appreciate y'all tuning in for the first episode of 2022. I would like, popping knuckles and things. That's such a lovely sound on the mic. Picks it up so crisp. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update. What your boy's been up to. But what have you guys been up to? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you've been doing with the new year so far. I'd like to say we got some new things coming this year. I would like to, start incorporating more stuff into the podcast. video camera. I think it would still be super cool to do Twitch streaming. Big fucking problem is I don't know. I don't have the time for that. Like, I got to make time for it. You know, you got to make time for the stuff you want to do. But I'm having a hard time finding places to squeeze Twitch in, you know. I don't want to feel like I'm working all the time. Still want to be able to, like, do things with enjoyment. And I don't want to set, like, you know, I still want to enjoy the things I'm doing, even if I'm not monetizing off of it. Or even if I am monetizing off of it. I don't want to lose that fucking joy for it. But anyway, we got things planned for this year. Stay tuned. Signing off. It's What's Up, Riv, with the 12th episode of the podcast. First episode of 2022. I love y'all. You be safe out there. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.